How's it going, everyone? Headed in for an impromptu camp. Didn't expect to be camping tonight, but needed to get away, relieve some stress, so I headed out. Y'all stick with me. Well, trying to hike down. So I hiked into like a campground area, turned downstream and started hiking a ways. Trying to get away from everyone, hopefully. Have to be careful, don't want to camp too close to the stream. There is a possibility of rain tonight and tomorrow, so last thing I want to get is caught in a flash flood. But I believe I can get a campsite. Hopefully it's pretty safe. How's it going? Well, I believe I found my camp for the night. Nice little spot here. Already got a fire ring and everything, and there's plenty of high ground above me back in here on this trail. I can hike the high ground almost completely out of here to get back to a vehicle or to weather the night. The only tree I'm really too worried about is this one right here. I'm actually probably going to attach my shelter to that tree, but it seems to be leaning away from where I'll be, and you know, the only time I'll really have to worry about it is if there's a lot of storms. If there's any real bad storms, I mean, it's warm weather. I could break camp and move up if I had to. Whatever I have to do, it'd be quick and easy. The only thing I'd have to really be worried about is a flash flood. And like I said, I can get to high ground. So with storms coming in, think about these things. But it looks like a good little spot to fish. So probably do a little fishing after I set up camp and then eat supper and see how the night goes. Y'all stick with me. Well, I got my tarp set up behind me. I decided not to go with the plow point, even though I might get some storms, just because, I mean, that tarp's big enough. I should be okay underneath it. But I want to go ahead and maybe get just a little bit of fishing in first. And then after that, I'm going to tend to getting some firewood up. I'd like to at least get a little bit of smoke in this campsite before it gets too dark, because mosquitoes. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But that, and just the fact that I've got to go hang a bear bag here. This area is loaded with them, and so I definitely want a bear bag. My food hung, and I don't really want it super close to camp. Maybe back up there near the main trail or something. I don't want to have to pass it to walk out of here in case it does bring something in. So I've got to figure out a spot and get me a bear bag hung up once I cook supper. But I'm losing daylight, so I got to get moving pretty quick. Whew, had one following it. That's good. Except my rod needs to be extended, I think. All right. Well, it got me a little fire started. The wood's kind of wet, which is okay right now. It's smoking. It'll smoke this out, and the smoke is going right to my tarp, which is good. For one, help keep bugs away from it. Two, help just kind of smoke up the area. You know, you put smoke in the area, helps keep animals away a little bit. I believe. I've always believed that, but I gotta work on it just a little bit to get it going. I'm not trying to build a fire to keep me warm tonight. It won't be, but probably 70 degrees tonight. And I've got more than enough, should be, to keep me warm. So, big deal with this fire is just mostly the smoke. And I'm debating on cooking my steak over it or not. I may or I may not. but I just want to have enough to have a little bit of smoke, and also maybe I might even like to have just a little bit of coals rocking tonight, just a little, just enough to, you know, keep the stragglers away. There's a trail behind me that gets hiked quite regularly, and some people will hike deep into the night, and so that way if they smell that smoke, they'll know that there's another person already here. They won't come bouncing up in my camp in the middle of the night tired as well. So some benefits to having a little bit of smoke going all night long. But guess I'm gonna get supper going. I fished a little, didn't catch much. I mean, I just fished for a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and start getting supper going. It's getting pretty late. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I'm losing daylight pretty fast, so I want to go ahead and get supper done, get most of the camp chores done, and really get this bear bag hung before dark, if I can help it. That's something I'm pretty adamant about when I'm camping alone. Got my tarp. It's not the best tarp hang I've ever done, but it works. Alright, I decided to go with, if you can see that, frying the steak. And let me turn you around here. So I'm frying the steak with and butter on an alcohol stove. I got some potatoes over there in a full pack that I'm cooking. That fire's about to die down. I'm gonna try to get some dry wood around, and should be pretty good supper. But I gotta get that fire going a little bit better for that full pack. So like I said, I do want to keep it going a little bit all night, but maybe not. I might just let it die down. We'll see. Well, steak and potatoes are close to done. Young couple walked down the trail a little ways and went back. They didn't have backpacks. Looked like they were just out strolling. So that's interesting, because I'm, you know, pretty good ways below the main campsite. I'm not sure quite how far. I don't have cell service, and I didn't download the map. Like I said, this was a crazy impromptu trip for me. I have a lot of things going on, work-wise, I guess you could say, and so I've been very, very, very busy, and it just kind of got to the point where I needed to take a few minutes to unwind. I needed a moment alone, and this is what I decided to do. So I was trying to get away from people. I just didn't want to hear people hollering and yelling all night, talking loud either way. The one thing I am kind of bummed about is all the wood's super wet. There's a prescribed burn on this ridge behind me running back, and it's really hard to find anything that hadn't already been burned up, like tinder wise, anywhere near here. It's not wet, so keeping fire going is hard. What I may do is just you know, do what you do when everything's wet. Find something dead, cut it, split it, and make my own firewood, or I may just let it go. I don't know, but right now I'm waiting to finish the steak, and soon I'll have a pretty good meal. And as soon as I get this done and I get eaten, I'm gonna get this food put away. I don't want food smell from my camp. Sometimes if I'm this far away from people, I won't cook where I camp, just to keep the food smell away. Like there's a camp I'm wanting to do later on this summer. In that area, I probably will not cook near camp. I'll probably cook a mile or two off. But we'll see how that goes. And there's reasons for that. It's just to keep the scent away. If you're camping by yourself, you know, it's good to keep scent out of your camp. But here, I'm not crazy worried about it. There's a lot of people that walk this trail every day. There's a campsite, you know, it's probably a mile and a half that way at least. But there's a lot of people use it. It gets used a lot. I've actually camped in that campsite years ago alone, which is strange for a campsite that big not to have people in it. But spend a night there alone, with nobody around, and the only thing that came around were coyotes all night. There were coyotes all night long. And then I've camped about maybe 7 or 8 miles that way. But that campsite I'd hiked into thinking I'd be alone, and there were several other people there. They had several other people came in, and you know, nothing exciting happened that night. A lot of people camped through here. I was actually shocked this campsite was not already taken on a weekend in warm weather. Most people probably got a lot of their camping bug out during 4th of July. That's probably why. So, well, I'm gonna go grab something to drink, and I am going to check on the steak and taters again. I think the steak's done. Taters might need just a little bit more time. Let me give it a few more minutes. Started on the steak here. Getting a little dark on me here. I hit a spot. That's definitely pretty good. Definitely pretty good. Tell y'all what, it's peaceful out here. So I'm sitting on the South Carolina side of this river. Georgia's on that side. If you know anything about upstate South Carolina, you know what river I'm on. I'm gonna call it out. Hadn't done a lot of fishing. I've been too busy getting everything done, but I'll probably do some when I break down camp in the morning. I'm gonna sit here and eat, finish up my camp chores for the afternoon, and I don't know what I think about that fire. That fire just don't want to go. This wet wood, and not the lack of wood nearby that's viable for what I'm trying to do, without really cutting into, you know, everything's either green or burned up or just absolutely soaking wet. So struggling to get it going, but I may play with it a little bit more before bed. We'll get this supper eat. Well, I'll eat supper. Got the fire rolled up just a little bit, and kind of prepping for bed. Got my bear bag hung, all that jazz. It's not as far from camp as I'd like. It's maybe 30-40 yards behind me. Not the best setup, but it'll work, and hopefully it won't matter. But I'll hang out here, relax a little bit. I haven't put my sleeping bag out yet, but just hang out and relax a little bit and start getting ready for bed. But it's a nice night. It hasn't rained. I kept thinking it was going to rain on me, thinking it was going to rain. It hasn't happened yet, so hopefully it'll stay like that till tomorrow when I pack up. But you guys stick with me through the whole video. Hopefully everything will roll smooth till in the morning, and have a good breakfast, and we'll pack up and hike out of here. Should be a nice, calm, relaxing night. That's what I'm hoping for. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you gotta watch out at night. I heard a noise, and I don't know if you can see what that is, but that is a copperhead. I believe in the dark. It's kind of hard to tell, but pretty sure that's copperhead laying there. My head would be right here, like 4 feet away. Wonderful. I heard something thump, like I heard like a noise. And when I looked over here to see what that was, that's what I found. Now I don't think that's what that made that noise, but I've been walking around here all night. Hold on, get my headlamp on here. There we go. Yeah, Pretty sure that's a copperhead. Head don't. He could be a one of those king snakes. He was right there. Not king snakes, but a corn snakes, but I don't know. He looks like a, oh shit, he done dropped back down the hill. Y'all tell me, y'all think I'm right if that's a copperhead, or is that a corn snake? Alright, I gotta do something with him. I can't have him down here in my bed. Alright, that's gonna work. Well, it would appear that it has decided to take up residence under that log right there and doesn't want to come out. This is where if I had a .22 pistol with me, I'd just go ahead and shoot it, rather than worry about sleeping near it. But I hate to discharge this 45. I know there's within hearing shot of here, there's some other campers, and that would certainly ruin their night to hear a gun go off this time of night. Alright, I gotta figure this out and get this thing out of here. Alright, so I shooed the snake off, got it all the way down over yonder somewhere. But right here is where my head's gonna go, and that's where that snake was. And I've been laying here in the dark just thinking about things and, you know, hanging out. I got it up going pretty good, and I finally let it die down. I was gonna go to bed. I was laying in the dark. If I hadn't heard that noise, that snake could have been down here with me. I'd probably got snake bit. And this is why a lot of times in warm weather, I prefer a hammock over sleeping on the ground. Which I've slept on the ground, you know, a lot in my life, but this is one of the reasons people a lot of times like to be up off the ground. Now I have a hammock with me and no under quilt. Otherwise, I might be considering sleeping in it. Plus, it's supposed to rain. But I could always upswing this tarp. And right now, I'm about half considering it. Getting myself up off the ground a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna lay here and think about it. Well, I was wondering if it was gonna rain. I thought it was gonna be a nice night. And it was for a while. Rain on the tarp woke me up. Started off kind of gentle and it picked up pretty fast, but I guess that'll cool things down. It's kind of warm for a night's sleep, but that rain, that'll be nice to sleep to. Means I'll have to probably pack my tarp away wet in the morning, which means that I'll make sure I get it out and get it dry as soon as I can. Hopefully it's not raining when I walk out of here in the morning. But I'm gonna kick back and see if I can't get some more sleep. Pathfinder Tarp right now is holding up pretty good. We'll see. You know, it started raining probably 1 a.m. Eventually it stopped. Oh, maybe midnight, and then eventually it stopped. But during that time, one time I did have to get out and lower the front of the tarp down. Look at some rain starting to run in on the underneath side. And that didn't last long. The rain finally quit. And once it did, because it was getting actually pretty warm under here, I raised the front back up. Now it's what, 4 a.m. The rain started back. I'm hoping that it lets off before breakfast, so I can cook my breakfast without it pouring rain, and walk out and pack up in the rain. The one thing I forgot to bring with me on this trip, which there's almost always something, is rain gear or a poncho. I didn't bring that, so even though it's warm, I've been toasty actually most of tonight. I have not needed my sleeping bag. Earlier when I had it out, I was covered up with it, just, you know, laying there napping. And then when I got to where I wanted to sit up and just hang out for a little bit, I packed it away and just pulled out a puffy just to throw something on a little bit. But other than that, I really hadn't needed anything. But hopefully this rain stops soon. It's going to break daylight fairly soon. And I'm hoping the rain stops by daylight so I can cook breakfast without having to cook it under the tarp. But if I have to, I will. The rain is actually comforting, but when it first kicks off and it really starts hitting this tarp, it wakes me up. So that's something. But that's all for now. I guess I'll hopefully be cooking breakfast fairly soon. And so far, no more snakes. And no more visitors, except for one time I got up and went to the edge of my campsite to look at the river for something. I think I had to go use the restroom. And there was a beaver right in the middle of the river. I got to watching him. He would hang out there for a minute. He would go underwater, swim around, come back. I believe, because he wasn't building a dam or anything like that. I haven't seen any signs of a beaver. I believe what he's doing is going under there, catching him a fish and coming back up and just sitting there eating or waiting and going back under and doing it again. It was an interesting thing to watch. I watched him for a few minutes. But other than that, everything's been quiet. So, looking forward to breakfast though. Well, good morning. Good night. I'm about to cook myself some breakfast real quick. And hopefully it doesn't start pouring rain before I get backed up and head out of here. It's not supposed to from what the weather app said. But hopefully I can get out of here with, you know, it'll stay relatively dry. Tarp did pretty good as far as it didn't leak. I probably should have set it up in a plow point configuration last night, but I didn't. But it didn't leak, so it did pretty good. Let's eat some breakfast. Well, I got the bacon on, got the water on for the coffee, got my fresh ground coffee beans. And so that pan last night, all I did was wash it out with water. It's still got the grease and everything from the steaks in it. Now it's got bacon grease. Here in just a minute, I'm gonna crack a couple eggs into it. This is gonna be a good, hearty, warm, filling meal for the morning before I head out of here. Some bacon in me. That hits the spot. That coffee. Sit for just a minute. Have me some good coffee. Whew. What a morning. What a morning to be alive. Out here in the woods. All along by the river. It's a good place to come and think. You know, it really helps you prioritize and think through things. Once all the chores are done for camp, if you're by yourself, there ain't a whole lot else to do. And you know, you can practice this or do this or that, but times like these, it gives you a chance to really clear your head a little bit and focus. I'm gonna eat this breakfast, drink me some coffee, and pack up and just head out of here. But if you've watched them now, thanks for following along, and stick around. Who knows what interesting thing will happen before I make it back to the vehicle this morning. But I'm gonna eat some breakfast. Well, I was packing away my breakfast and getting ready to start pulling my tarp down, and it's raining again. Looks like it's gonna be like this all day. Once I get everything packed up under the tarp, then I'll pack away the tarp. This quick deploy ridge line that I made is amazing. This is not my design. I got it off somebody else's video. Tried it out. I've done other things in the past. This is so much better. It allows me to adjust the height easily, put it up, take it down easily. It just makes it great. Using these soft shackles just in the middle, just to keep it from blowing back too far if that, you know, happened. Not the best way of setting it up, but the quick deploy ridgeline, I think I've seen it on Blackie Thomas's channel. I've seen it on Dave Canterbury's channel, maybe some others, and I had decided just to make my own and try it out. And man, it works with the toggles. Already on the ridge line, and you have your little, you can put in your little sticks as buttons, and it just goes up and down super easy. That helped a lot last night, but I guess I'm gonna sit here in the rain for a bit, and then have everything ready to go but the tarp, and then I'll, when the rain quits again, I'll pack away the tarp. Well guys, I'm almost back to my vehicle. Been hiking hard for quite a bit. Rain let off, finally packed up, and I decided to head on out. So I think this trip accomplished its goal for me, which was kind of de-stress, get out in nature. Something about it, I mean, it's a lot more hard work sometimes than what I might be doing for money. And sometimes I get less sleep, sometimes I get more sleep, but there's nothing like a trip out like this for me, to just bring me into the present and hold me there. Takes away whatever been on my mind, takes away whatever stress, and really just works. I mean, it works wonders. Now if you're not used to camping alone, I don't recommend it the first couple times. Maybe take somebody, but or maybe a friend that's similar to you, you know. But I'm almost back to my vehicle. Like I said, guys, if you followed me up to this point, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll get some more good content out. I've been putting in a lot of work recently, and I just haven't had the time, and that's unfortunate. But if you guys stick with me, hopefully things like that will change, and I'll get out content when I can, and I appreciate it. Have a good one.